Revealed, the incredible moment a cleaning lady hiddenly saved a millionaire's special daughter. Emily woke before the sun, her heart heavy with the weight of the world, but she clung to hope. The quiet of the early morning wrapped around her as she brewed coffee, a rich aroma filling the small kitchen she called home. The flicker of the light illuminated a worn photograph taped to the fridge. In it, 10-year-old Lily, with her brilliant smile and curious eyes, was the sun in Emily's sometimes bleak sky. Every day, Emily poured herself into her work as a cleaning lady, meticulously scrubbing the lavish homes in a wealthy urban neighborhood, determined to give Lily the best life she could muster. Her days were long and often thankless. The affluent families she served seemed to float above her, each life insulated from the struggles Emily faced. Invisible to their world, she remained a shadow, pouring her heart into every corner she cleaned. But one afternoon, while dusting the ornate living room of David, a successful millionaire, fate took an unexpected turn. As Emily expertly maneuvered her feather duster through the fine china, she accidentally overheard a conversation that stopped her cold. David spoke with a rawness that cut through the luxury surrounding them, his voice thick with emotion. "It's so hard to see Mia struggle. Kids at school are cruel. She feels so alone." Emily felt her heart twist. She knew that loneliness she and Lily had been cast aside by society, invisible among those who couldn't see the brilliance in their differences. Weeks passed. The sight of Mia, David's daughter, sitting alone at lunch gnawed at Emily. She couldn't shake the feeling that she should do something, anything, to help. So, she did what she knew best. She left small notes tucked into Mia's favorite storybooks in the serene library she cleaned, sweet words of encouragement that spoke of strength and hope. "You are brave, Mia. Just like my Lily." Each note brought a shy smile to Mia's face, pushing her out of secluded corners into the light. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. But one afternoon, everything changed. At the community center, chaos erupted when a sudden accident turned joyous festivities into panic. Emily's eyes found Mia trapped near a toppled structure, frozen in fear. Without thinking, she sprinted towards the girl, her heart pounding like a drum. Time slowed as Emily lunged forward, grasping Mia's arm, pulling her to safety just as debris fell where the child had been moments before. The sound of gasps filled the room, uncertainty filled her own chest. The aftermath of Emily's act of courage shocked the wealthy community to its core, shattering both families' notions of class and identity. As the tale of the cleaning lady who saved a millionaire's daughter spread, questions arose. Would they recognize her worth and strength? Emily stood at a crossroads, protagonist in her own story of resilience, poised to transform their world for the better. Would they find a way to bridge the gap between their lives, or would they fall back into the comfortable chasms of misunderstanding? The air thickened with tension, leaving the next chapter of their intertwined lives hanging in the balance. The air buzzed with whispers after the accident, a mixture of shock and admiration permeating the community center. Emily found herself at the center of it all, her heart racing, yet still filled with a sense of purpose. As families gathered around, some cast sidelong glances her way, a few openly expressing gratitude, but many continued to see her as just the cleaning lady. David stood off to the side, a conflicted look on his face. He had watched the whole scene unfold and hadn't yet spoken to Emily. The way her fearlessness shone against the backdrop of the chaos was undeniable. He could hardly fathom that the woman he considered merely a worker had become the very embodiment of bravery. He hesitated, battling with his own misconceptions of class and status. Emily breathed deep, gripping the edge of a table, feeling the texture of the wood under her fingertips. A cacophony of voices surrounded her, the air thick with tension and relief. Then she caught Mia's eye across the room. The child was visibly shaken but still searching for reassurance. Emily wanted to walk over, to hold her close and tell her everything would be okay, but her feet felt glued to the floor. If she stepped out of her role as the maid, would they accept her? Would David finally see her as more than just someone who cleaned his home? As the crowd shifted, David finally approached. "Emily," he said softly, nervously running a hand through his hair. I can't believe what you did." His voice wavered, sincerity emerging from the depths of disbelief. "Thank you for saving my daughter." "I don't know how," she interrupted, her voice trembling but steady. "I just did what anyone would do. I couldn't let her get hurt." His eyes reflected something more profound than gratitude. "No, Emily, not everyone would have acted like that. You're extraordinary. Mia's lucky to have you in her life." Their gaze locked. For a moment, the noise around them faded. Emily felt a warmth bloom in her chest. This was a pivotal moment, perhaps they could start bridging the distance between their lives. Then, as if the universe was conspiring against this flicker of hope, a sharp scream broke through the throng. It was Mia, her eyes wide and filled with tears, as she ran toward Emily, wrapping her tiny arms around her waist. "I was so scared," she sobbed, clinging tightly. "You saved me." Emily knelt, enveloping Mia in her embrace, feeling the weight of the world release slightly. "You're safe now. I'm here. I'll always be here," she whispered. Tears pricked her eyes, but she fought them back, wanting to appear strong. Around them, more people began to notice. David observed as whispers morphed into expressions of respect. Some began stepping forward, others murmured tales of Emily's bravery, of the notes she had hidden in Mia's books. "I didn't know," David murmured, the realization dawning. Someone shouted, "Let us hear more about this amazing woman." The comments flowed like a tide, admiration swelling. Emily's heart raced with each kind word, but then, she sensed the chasm still remained. Mere words, no matter how sincere, could not change the past. Would they truly see her? Or would they return to seeing her simply as the cleaning lady? With each glance, it became clear, this was the moment for transformation. A decision loomed before her. Should she take this chance to speak up, to redefine her place in this world, or remain silent and let the moment pass? Determined, she rose to her feet, drawing strength from the embrace of the child still within her grasp. She opened her mouth, ready to reshape not just her future, but that of Mia's, all of theirs. "I need to tell you something." What would she reveal? And would the truth push them toward a more unified path, or would it send her spiraling back into obscurity? As Emily stood there, Mia clasped in her arms, the weight of countless untold stories surged within her. A jolt of determination coursed through her, compelling her to shatter the silence pressing down upon the gathering. "I want to share something," she began, her voice steady despite the tremor of nerves. The chatter faded, curiosity sharpening the crowd's focus. David remained close, his expression a mix of concern and anticipation. "Perhaps you see me just as the cleaning lady, the one who sweeps the floors and scrubs the dishes," she continued, her gaze sweeping across the faces that had once been indifferent. "But I am so much more than that." A quiet murmur rippled through the audience, a collective undercurrent of surprise whispering back at her. She felt their skepticism. Yet, with Mia still in her embrace, she strengthened her resolve. "I grew up in a world much like this one, full of hope, dreams, and also struggles. My mother worked 2 jobs to keep our family afloat. We fought to survive, and every little success felt monumental. I may clean the floors in your homes, but those floors hold memories of my own battles." With each word, she felt more liberated, the past no longer a weight but a badge of honor. She looked directly at David, catching the flicker of realization in his eyes. "I have always believed in the power of kindness, even when I had little to give. Like the notes I left in Mia's books, it was my way of reaching out, to share love and encouragement in a small way." Mia squeezed her tighter, drawing more strength from the child than she believed possible. "This is not about me," Emily added, her tone shifting. "It's about seeing one another. Can we dare to acknowledge the beauty in every person, regardless of their job or status? Can we break the barriers that divide us?" The silence that followed her words hung thick in the air, until someone from the back spoke up. We need to hear more. Encouragement rumbled like distant thunder, and Emily could see the momentum shifting. Faces lit up with understanding, emotions shifting from shock to recognition. She felt a flicker of hope ignite inside her. She continued, pushed forward by the gravity of the moment. Sometimes it takes a moment of crisis to reveal who we truly are or who we can become. I'm here. I'll always be here for Mia, but I'm also here to inspire change. We all have the power to uplift one another. David stepped closer, visibly moved. You've shown us what it means to look beyond what's on the surface, he said, his voice steadying with conviction. I want to support you, to change how we view one another in our community. The crowd started to nod, slowly coming together as one. Faces softened, barriers breaking, and suddenly Emily understood that her words were not just a plea but a call to action, a chance to reshape their world. But just as the atmosphere vibrated with newfound camaraderie, an unexpected voice broke through. It was a harsh tone from the side. What do you know about hardship, really? You don't belong in this discussion. Emily felt her heartbeat quicken, the resurgence of doubt flooding back. Would she face disdain again? Their eyes turned toward the speaker, an old acquaintance, one who always dismissed her place in their social hierarchy. Fear gripped her for a moment, but she took a deep breath, refusing to retreat. I know more than you think. As the voice of opposition echoed in her mind, she realized this was the moment of truth. Would she stand strong and hold on to the glimpse of acceptance she just glimpsed, or would she be pushed back into the shadows? The collective breath of anticipation filled the room as all eyes turned toward the conflict on the horizon. What would happen next? Would Emily's truth resonate deeply enough to bridge the divide, or would it expose old wounds that could not heal? Emily could feel the tension like a wave crashing against the shore, heavy and relentless. The room pulsed with the weight of expectant silence. Every person seemed to hold their breath, eyes shifting between her and the old acquaintance, Sam, who wore an expression of contempt that felt all too familiar. Seriously, Emily? Sam laughed, but there was a harsh edge to it. You think because you've cleaned a few houses, you can talk about hardship? You live in a whole different world from us. Emily steadied herself, fixing her gaze on Sam. The disbelief in his eyes burned. But she couldn't let his words twist her heart. We all have our battles, Sam, she replied, her voice stronger now, each syllable like a new brick in a barrier she built against doubt. You don't know the first thing about mine. Sam stepped forward, his voice laced with derision. Tell us then. What do you know about loss, or pain? You think your sympathy notes are supposed to mean something? What do you have that's worth listening to? Emily's heart raced, but there was no going back. She could feel Mia's small hands gripping her shirt, giving her the courage she didn't know she had. I know what it's like to wonder where the next meal will come from, she said, a fierce passion rising inside her. I know the feeling of watching your parent work themselves into the ground just to keep you safe. Clean houses? That's just my job, it's not who I am. The crowd stirred, a slow ripple of surprise washing over them. David's eyes widened with admiration, but he wasn't the only one. Emily took a breath, searching for the right words to break through. Hardships come in many forms. You think because I don't wear a suit or drive the fanciest car, I'm less deserving of respect? That's not the way life should be. We all belong here, sharing our stories. For a moment, the room hung in a delicate balance, the energy shifting like a seesaw. Just as a glimmer of hope flickered to life, Sam scoffed again, but now there was uncertainty in his expression. So what? You think this is going to change anything? People are what they are. Emily shook her head, frustration bubbling within her. Change starts with us, Sam. If we can't see each other, if we keep judging based on surfaces, how can we ever connect? I'm here for Mia, yes, but I'm also here for everyone. I believe we can do better, be better. From the back of the room, a voice called out, she's right. We can't let ourselves be divided anymore. Cheers erupted around her. Emily's heart swelled as she caught glimmers of understanding and empathy spreading through the crowd. Sam's bravado faltered. Why are you listening to her? He shouted, but his authority was crumbling. Because we're tired of pretending, someone shouted back. We want to see each other. As the crowd began to take sides, Emily felt the warmth of solidarity grow. Sam's face twisted in anger, confusion painted across his features as he realized his message was lost in the unity around her. But even as the crowd rallied, Emily felt a tremor of fear. Was it enough? Could they really push through the shallow judgments that had separated their lives for so long? Just then, someone from the side raised their hand. It was Jamie, the respected leader of their community. She stepped forward, her expression grave yet soft. Emily, you've sparked something in all of us. But if we want real change, we need to address those who still want to listen. Everyone turned to Jamie, their hopes hanging on her words. Emily's heart raced again. What would Jamie suggest? Would they be able to reach even the most hardened hearts? What will she say? Emily wondered. The unease settled back over her like a fog, thick and hesitant. Beyond acceptance loomed deeper challenges. How could they confront what lay beneath the surface? Jamie stood at the front, the weight of every gaze upon her. She took a deep breath, the tension coiling tighter. It's true, change requires courage, she began, her voice steadying as she spoke. But sometimes, it also requires understanding. We're not just talking about words, we're talking about action, about opening ourselves to the unfamiliar. Emily felt a spark of hope igniting. Jamie had this incredible ability to draw people in. Let us put our differences aside for a moment, Jamie continued. I say we invite Sam to explain his perspective. Let him share his experiences. Emily's pulse quickened. The thought of Sam opening up felt like asking a lion to share the secret of its roar. Are you serious? She thought, glancing toward him. Sam's expression was a mix of disbelief and disbelief. Why should I? Sam scoffed, folding his arms. Why should I share anything with a bunch of people who can't be bothered to understand what it's like to be successful? Because success isn't just wealth, Emily interjected, her heart racing. It's a journey, Sam. We want to understand you, to find common ground. The room hummed with a mix of anticipation and apprehension. Sam shifted uncomfortably, the bravado he always wore like armor beginning to crack. I don't know what you want from me, he finally muttered, his bravado faltering. Just your truth, Jamie replied softly. We're all here, willing to share ours. For a long moment, the air felt thick with emotion, the crowd genuinely invested in Sam's response. Emily could feel her heart pounding. Would he take the leap? Finally, Sam sighed, his shoulders slumping. Fine. You want to know about hardship? Try growing up with a father who only saw dollar signs. Success was all he cared about. He didn't even know my name most days. Emily's breath caught. There was pain in Sam's voice, a vulnerability she never expected to hear. Parents, like her own, could hold harsh expectations, but it was different for everyone. It was different for him. Does that count? Sam challenged, anger still bubbling just beneath the surface. Do you all feel sorry for me now? No one's asking for pity, Emily shot back, sensing the energy shift again. What we're doing is creating a bridge. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Jamie stepped close, her tone firm yet compassionate. This is what we need: courage to face our own stories and the stories of others. Let us really see each other. Sam looked around, slowly realizing the faces softened by empathy. A hesitation lingered, he seemed caught between pride and something deeper: vulnerability. The crowd was no longer a faceless group, they were a reflection of shared experiences, of hopes and dreams colliding. Then out of nowhere, Mia let go of Emily's shirt and stepped forward, her small frame commanding more attention than Sam's towering figure beside her. I think we should be friends, Sam. You're sad when you talk about your dad. My dad works hard, too, and it can be lonely. Gasps echoed through the room, and Emily felt her heart swell with pride for her little girl. Wow, Mia, that's brave, Jamie praised, kneeling to meet the girl's shining eyes. You've reminded us of something important. Everyone has a story that might change how we connect. Sam's stiff posture softened as he knelt to meet Mia's gaze. I'm not sad all the time, he tried to argue. I just want to be seen. Then let us see you, Emily said, her voice cutting through the noise. It was a daring invitation, one that hung in the air as heavy as the tension. Just moments ago. As the crowd exchanged glances, Emily felt a rush of anticipation. Was this the moment they could transform this rocky foundation into something solid? Could Sam and the others let down their walls? And just as Sam opened his mouth to respond, the ground trembled. A storm brewing outside, a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of life, echoing the chaos of their own stories just waiting to be uncovered. What would happen when the storm hit? Would it wash away the scavenged storylines they clung to, or would it give rise to new connections? Instead, all eyes turned, the uncertainty palpable. Sam's eyes widened as he processed the storm brewing outside, his mind racing. He glanced at the window, drawn by the shadows dancing against the glass. The air thickened and crackled, as if the universe was listening, urging him to speak. I just want, he started again, struggling to find the words. The crowd leaned in, tension electrifying the space. I just want people to see the real me, not just the successful guy they think I am. Emily's heart raced. It was a breakthrough, a flicker of light piercing the storm's darkness. She felt everyone around her inching closer, their worries tethered to this moment. Sam's gaze softened, revealing a glimpse of him the crowd rarely got to see. A rumble of thunder resonated through the room, and Mia, always attuned to feelings, sensed the change. She stepped forward again, her small hand reaching out. You can be real with us, Sam. You don't have to pretend. His eyes misted momentarily, and for the first time, he allowed himself to step away from that polished image. It's so hard to let people in. I've spent years building this wall. I thought it would keep me safe. But he trailed off, a storm of emotions swirling in him. It's okay to be scared, Jamie encouraged, her own eyes glimmering with understanding. We all are. Look at us sharing our fears, our truths. It's what makes us human. The lightning flashed again, illuminating the room. The tension shifted, melted a little. Sam's shoulders sagged, and with each word, he peeled back another layer. I'm scared people will think I'm weak. I'm scared of being alone. I thought success would fill that void, but it just made the space bigger. Success isn't everything, Emily said, feeling a wave of solidarity. It doesn't define who you are. You are more than just what others see, a name on a building or a dollar amount on a check. As the rain began to hammer against the windows, each droplet felt like an echo of Sam's unvoiced burdens. The crowd nodded, drawing closer to him, not to judge, but to embrace a truth they could all relate to. Mia's voice cut through softly. I think we're all a little lonely sometimes. But together we can play, and maybe we can help you feel better, Sam. Shock rippled through him at her innocent words, and a small smile broke through his previously formidable exterior. You really think so? Yes. Mia beamed brightly. We could be friends. And we can make sure you're never lonely again. A wave of laughter rolled through the room, breaking the tension like sunlight piercing the clouds. Sam shifted, a faint color rising in his cheeks. Was it warmth, or the dawning realization that perhaps belonging was not so far-fetched? The rain intensified, and Emily caught sight of others shifting uneasily but holding fast. A connection had been forged, but would they be able to weather the storm of their emotions together? Suddenly, a violent crack echoed as a bolt of lightning struck nearby, and the lights flickered before plunging them into darkness. Gasps erupted around the room, and fear threaded its way through the atmosphere. Stay calm, Jamie urged, her voice steady despite the chaos surrounding them. This is just like life, unpredictable and challenging. But we're together. We can handle it. Emily felt her heart race again. Here they were, trapped in a room, each person holding their own storms inside while the literal storm raged outside. Would this chaos throw them back into their shells? Or would it push them all to embrace each other even more? As silence enveloped them, Jamie's voice cut through. Sam, is this the moment you take that leap? He hesitated, the pulse of every heart in the room matching the chaos outside. Everyone had their stories to share, but what would they reveal in the dark? Would Sam step forward, or would he retreat again into the shadows of self-doubt and pride? The tension hung in the air, laden with anticipation and the possibility of transformation. Would they brave the storm for the chance to be truly seen? The answer lingered, swirling with the wind howling outside, leaving them all on the edge of an unpredicted and pivotal moment. Sam's breath quickened. The darkness around them felt heavy, almost suffocating. Surrounded by familiar faces, he realized just how much fear he'd held onto, waiting for the right moment to let it all out. This was his moment. He started, voice cracking. I don't know how to be vulnerable. I've spent my life running from it. He swallowed hard, pushing through the lump in his throat. But right now, I feel exposed, and I don't want to hide anymore. A murmur of support rippled through the group. With every heartbeat, the storm outside mirrored the ones inside each chest. Emily put a gentle hand on Sam's back, a silent encouragement to continue. Utilizing my success, Sam continued, I thought I could shield myself from the hurt. But it doesn't work that way, does it? There's a hollow space in me. His voice trembled. I've built this facade, thinking it would protect me. But all it ever did was create more loneliness. Mia leaned closer, as if offering her youthful spirit to blanket him in warmth. Lonely doesn't mean you're alone, Sam. We'll be your friends. We can share stories, and we can support each other. I want that, he breathed, the light of revelation shining through. I want to be part of something real. As the wind howled outside, Jamie spoke again, her voice resonating with strength. Then let us start now. Let us show each other that we matter. We're more than our fears. We're a collective of dreams and failures. She let the last word hang in the air, inviting all to acknowledge their truths. Around the room, heads nodded slowly, almost solemnly. Each person carried their own burden. Emotions swelled, and the air thickened with a newfound honesty. Sam felt a change in energy, resonance building as everyone began to step forward, sharing snippets of their own struggles. Emily spoke up about her insecurities of never being good enough. Jamie revealed her battle with choosing to follow her dreams over familial pressure. Mia, with her innocent heart, shared moments of feeling invisible at school. It was like peeling layers off an onion, each one revealing the complexities beneath the surface. The storm outside continued to rage, but in that dimly lit room, a sanctuary began to form. Laughter mingled with tears, fears turned into stories, and the thick tension began to dissolve like mist in the morning sun. We've made it this far, together, Sam voiced, a hint of courage tripping off his tongue. I've kept my walls up for so long, thinking they protected me, but they only kept me from feeling. I want to feel. I want you all to know me. But just then, another flash of lightning illuminated the room, and Sam realized how fragile this shift felt. What if, he faltered, what if I open up too much and it all shatters? At that moment, a soft voice broke through, Jamie's steady tone anchoring them again. Sam, remember the storm. Out there, it's wild and unpredictable. But inside, here with us, you can be safe. Let it all out, and we'll catch you. Her words curled around him, igniting a spark deep within. This warmth, the bond forming around them, felt resilient. As the storm yelled outside, here within these walls, they built a new foundation together. Okay, Sam said, his heart pounding with both fear and excitement. Okay, I'll speak. He could feel everyone's gaze urging him on, ready to catch him if he fell. And for the first time, he embraced the thrill of uncertainty. As the room vibrated with hope, Sam took a deep breath. He glanced around at the eager faces. Here goes nothing, he whispered. Just then, another bolt of lightning struck, shattering the momentary calm. The lights flickered again, and a deafening crash rang out, leaving everyone breathless. What if this time we stumble? Someone whispered in the dark. Sam felt the shift. What lay ahead was uncertain, but could they really embark on the journey of unveiling themselves, faces raw against the world. As anxiety mingled with hope, a question hung in the air. How far were they willing to go to break down their barriers? Together, could they truly weather both storms? The tension in the room thickened, a palpable blend of fear and anticipation. Sam's heart raced as all eyes turned to him. What was meant to be a breakthrough felt suddenly monumental, the air electric with expectation. He could feel every heartbeat, each one echoing the collective hope of the group. Okay, he repeated to steady himself, words spilling out like water from a broken dam. I've been running from everything. My past. My failures. Even from people like you who genuinely want to help me. He paused, taking in the faces painted with concern and encouragement. I guess I thought I could just tough it out, but it's exhausting. A soft whisper drifted through the room. You're not alone in that, Sam, Emily said, her voice steady, cutting through the uncertainty like a beacon. Sam nodded, remembering the lonely nights spent convincing himself that isolation was better than facing vulnerability. I'm so afraid of opening up. What if I expose too much and you all see the mess I really am? His voice cracked again, but he forced himself to meet their gazes. What if it ruins everything? Mia gripped his hand, her light touch grounding him. But isn't that what makes us human? Isn't that where the connection happens? We need to go there to really understand each other. Her words hung in the air, powerful and profound. For a fleeting moment, it felt like the storm outside paused, listening in on their exchange. Sam felt a warmth blossom in his chest. Maybe she's right. Maybe breaking down barriers leads to building something stronger. As he closed his eyes, memories flooded his mind, moments of deep shame, feelings of inadequacy, and the aching loneliness that settled in his bones. But alongside those memories were flickers of hope, of genuine smiles, laughter with friends, fleeting moments of connection that had always reminded him he wasn't as alone as he thought. Taking a steadying breath, Sam prepared to dive deeper. I felt like a ghost for the longest time. Floating from one achievement to another, but never being seen, never being valued for the true me. It feels impossible to let go of the past and accept that I can be more than what I've built around myself. As tears pricked at the corners of his eyes, Jamie leaned forward. Sam, you're already more than that. Just by being here right now, sharing this with us. Remember, we're all in this together. Let us carry each other's burdens. With newfound courage, Sam continued, I think we've all built defenses to protect ourselves, haven't we? But they can be prison walls, too. I don't want that anymore. Laughter bubbled up from the group at the relief found within those words. It echoed with shared understanding. It was infectious. Sam felt the tension ease slightly, a reminder that they were all in this chaotic storm together. Mia chimed in. And we're all messy. Who says we have to be perfect? If we wait until we are, we will never connect. Let us figure this out together. The room filled with murmurs of agreement, and Sam couldn't help but smile. The lights flickered again, and the wind howled outside, but there in that room, amidst the howling of nature, laughter took center stage. They were no longer fighting the storms alone, they had become a refuge for each other. Just then, Sam noticed a shadow creeping in the corner of the room. A figure stood there, quiet and isolated from the collective warmth. The atmosphere shifted as curiosity swept through the group. Who is that? He asked, his words trembling with the uncertainty that simmered beneath the surface. As the figure stepped into the light, everyone turned to see who would join their circle of vulnerability. What if they need us too? Sam wondered, heart racing at the prospect of reaching out once again. Would they be brave enough to welcome another soul into their fragile sanctuary? The figure stepped into the light, revealing a young woman with a weary expression etched on her delicate features. Her hair was pulled back in a messy bun, hands shoved deep in the pockets of a frayed hoodie. The tension in the room shifted again, but this time it was mixed with a hint of concern as muted whispers floated through the air. Hey, I didn't mean to interrupt, she said nervously, her voice barely rising above the wind that howled outside, brushing against the windows. I was just cleaning, and I thought I heard voices. Sam felt an unexpected rush of empathy wash over him. There was something intimately vulnerable about her presence, like she too was carrying burdens of her own. "You're not interrupting at all," he responded, his own vulnerability guiding his tone. "Please, come in. We're just trying to support each other." The woman hesitated, glancing at the group, uncertainty shadowing her eyes. Sam sensed her walls, the same ones he had struggled to break through moments ago. She started, words stumbling as if they were trying to escape. "I'm not really part of this." "That's okay," Mia interrupted gently, her voice embodying warmth. "Anyone is welcome here. You deserve to be seen, too." In that moment, the young woman's eyes softened. It was a crack in her armor, and Sam saw the flicker of hope there. Slowly, she stepped closer, and Sam could feel the weight of her unshared stories hanging in the air like an unspoken promise. "What is your name?" Jamie asked, leaning forward, genuinely curious. "Erica," she said, finally allowing a flicker of a smile, albeit hesitant. "Just, the cleaning lady." "But you're more than that," Sam said, echoing the sentiments he had just shared with the group. "Everyone here has stories. You're part of this circle now." As Erica inched closer, a sudden gust of wind rattled the windows. It felt like nature was urging them to dig deeper, to confront more than just superficial small talk. "I didn't know people even cared about each other like this," she confessed, her voice cracking slightly. "It's hard to believe when all you've known is loneliness." The room fell silent as her words filled the space, resonating with everyone in different ways. Sam felt the vulnerability in her confession. It mirrored his own struggles, each of them a reflection of shared humanity. "Do you want to share?" Mia asked softly. "It doesn't have to be anything scary. Just whatever you're comfortable with." As Erica opened her mouth to speak, her eyes glimmered with tears that threatened to spill over. "I used to think I didn't matter," she shared, her voice gaining strength. "I lost my family, and since then, it's been empty. Cleaning other people's homes feels like I'm only ever on the outside looking in." As she spoke, Sam saw connections weaving between them, a thread of shared experiences binding them tighter. The power of vulnerability revealed its strength, holding them together against the tempest outside. "Thank you for sharing that," Sam said, his heart aching for her. "You do matter. Every one of us here can relate in some way." Erica smiled through her tears, a softening in her demeanor, as if a part of her had finally been acknowledged. But just as hope began to fill the room, the lights flickered ominously one more time, plunging them into darkness for a heartbeat. When they came back on, a new weight hung in the air, another shadow crossed into their fragile circle. Sam's breath caught in his throat. The door is opening again. What if this time they bring news that could change everything? Sam's thoughts raced, anxiety knotting in his stomach as curiosity gave way to trepidation. Why was this new presence stepping forward into their sanctuary? Would it help them dig deeper, or would it fracture what they had just begun to build? The door swung open slowly, revealing a figure cloaked in the darkness just outside. The storm raged behind them, throwing shards of lightning across the sky. Sam squinted, unsure of what to expect. As the shape emerged from the shadows, the room collectively gasped. It was David, Mia's father. His usual polished demeanor was muted, as if the chaos outside mirrored the storm in his heart. "David." Mia squeaked, her face lighting up, momentarily ignoring the apprehension hanging in the room. "Did you come to help us?" David nodded, catching sight of Emily in the crowd. His eyes bore weighty remorse, an unspoken apology for all the times they let the walls between their worlds divide them. "I came to find you all," he said, his voice steadying amidst the raucous outside. "I've been listening, and I realized something important." David looked at Emily. "You opened my eyes to a whole new view. I treated you like the cleaning lady, never even considering the phenomenal strength you hold." Emily's heart raced. Every moment of hardship flashed through her mind, all the sacrifices she had made for Lily and for herself. "It's okay," she breathed back, feeling vulnerable yet empowered by the warmth radiating from the group around her. "No, it's really not okay," David argued softly, something raw in his voice as he turned toward Erica, still standing hesitantly at the edge of their circle. We've all been guilty of not seeing each other. We've let our differences create walls instead of bridges. Erica looked up, her expression shifting as realization dawned. Yet here you are, standing among us, like you truly care. I do care, David affirmed, glancing around, his sincerity becoming infectious. I want us to connect, for Mia's sake and for ours. The crowd grew strangely still, every emotion spiraling like the tempest outside. Maybe we can build a community where everyone feels like they truly belong. David turned to Sam, pacing with conviction. It starts with all of us taking responsibility. Everyone looked at one another, the threads of connection weaving tighter in that small room, storm-worn yet filled with hope. Suddenly, someone at the back spoke up, filled with a bright voice and sheer belief. You know what? Change starts with us deciding to be better. Cheers erupted, lifting the atmosphere. We understand hardship. We understand what it means to feel left out. But we're all here for each other now. Sam felt a shift, their vulnerability blossoming like flowers amidst a storm. They all wanted better for one another, a want to break the cycles that confine them. David stepped forward once more, eyes ablaze with determination. Let us come together, cleaners and millionaires, the lost and found, the brave and the timid. We all share this space. A flicker of light erupted in the crowd, the spirit of transformation igniting their hearts. They found themselves held together, not just by circumstances, but by sharing every fragmented piece of themselves. Sam felt a lightness unfold as he spoke. I want to create something with all of you. Let us start a community center, a place where stories are shared, both beautifully broken and fiercely strong, where anyone can walk in and see real people. A wave of applause erupted around them, shaking the very foundation of their gathering. The storm continued raging outside, thunder rumbling, but inside that room, warmth, acceptance, and possibility surged like a roaring river. Mia turned to Sam, her bright eyes wide with excitement. Can we have a library there? And can we tell stories? I love stories. Absolutely. Everyone laughed together, their fears melting like ice under the sun. The laughter hung in the air, brightening the room, filling it with a kind of magic only found in community.as. The voices filled the space. Emily looked at each face, their stories intertwining like a tapestry woven with trust and empathy. She felt immense gratitude swell within, understanding now that everyone in that room held a part of the truth, a piece of their interconnected destinies. And through the tempest outside, with the risk of vulnerability crossing their hearts, they held the promise of a new dawn, a collective rebirth into understanding, compassion, and connection. Tears of joy streamed down Emily's cheeks, and as she caught David's eye, she knew they had forged something real and transformative. As the storm outside raged on, they stood firm together, embracing the chaos yet allowing hope to illuminate the shadows that once divided them. In this quiet moment amidst the storm, they recognized that sometimes it takes the darkest clouds for the sun to really shine. With a heart full of love, Emily whispered to the group, "Let this be the beginning." A wave of agreement rippled through them. And as they all stepped outside, hand in hand to face the relentless storm, they breathed in the scent of possibility, unified in their resolve to truly see each and every soul around them. This was their moment. So, you need to subscribe now, don't wait not even one more second. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment below your reactions and feelings about this ending. Tell us what you think of this amazing transformation, and share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this journey of connection. Your support means the world. Let us keep spreading this light together.